The Las Vegas Raiders were in a position last year that I don't know a lot of people. I mean, we kind of called it a little bit to a degree, but not a lot of other people called it. They were in the playoffs last year in a position where, quite honestly, they were a possession away from tying it with the Bengals, and it was wild. Like the thing about the Raiders' offense is it was exciting all season long. That defense really stepped up towards the end, and I'm thinking it's going to step up even more so this year. But I felt like a lot of times last year, especially in key spots, i.e. in the playoff game, the Las Vegas Raiders offense, it tended to kick field goals rather than score touchdowns. You can't have that. That is one of the biggest demoralizing things to happen to your team, especially when you're going against another quality team, especially in the Cincinnati Bengals. And also, when you're playing other quality teams, no matter who it is, they're in the playoffs, they're in the NFL, they're all NFL teams for a reason. So in those kind of games, you can't kick field goals. And I think that was the Achilles heel of the Raiders offense, especially down the stretch in a lot of key situations last year. So the question now becomes, how do you get over that? How do you take that next step? How do you keep climbing up that rung of perfection? Well, obviously, I think Davante Adams certainly helps. Absolutely. I think Davante Adams is going to be he really was that missing piece. Now, obviously, I know they got some things on the offensive line still to figure out. I think I would like to see another starting right tackle other than Brandon Parker, please. But also, I would still like to see upgrades over like at Simpson at guard. I know that there's been a lot of talk about guys that could step up on the current roster, like Illuminor, I believe. But overall, I think there's a lot of good talent on this team, but I do think that there needs to be a huge emphasis on Josh McDaniels' part, Dave Ziegler, and the rest of the organization is that, hey, offense, obviously wins games, defense wins championships, which I do think that defense will be good enough to win a championship. The question to me is, can the Raiders score touchdowns in key situations? Can they punch it in? Can they stick with the run game to be able to also play off the pass game? And I think that's something that Josh McDaniels did beautifully in his time with the Patriots. You talk a lot about ran the ball a lot out of 12 personnel, 1 running back, 2 tight ends. So I think Foster Moreau, and Darren Waller can both get a lot of work in that situation. Josh Jacobs needs to be able to run the football. Everybody really needs to be up. It doesn't matter. Amir Abdullah, it doesn't matter. Everybody needs to be able to run the football. And I think, I also don't think that a guy like Josh Jacobs is going to be counted on to carry such a big load, especially when you think about, all the different running backs in New England that were just able to do a lot of different things. And I think Josh Jacobs, now don't get me wrong, he definitely deserves to give the rock. Like, give this man the football, let him do some things. But overall, this Raiders offense, has got some really talented ball carriers, some really talented running backs on the roster. Obviously, you've got key weapons in Davante Adams, Hunter Renfrow, Darren Waller. Offensive line, we'll see. But overall, I think if you want to take that next step as a franchise, if you're championship teams, look at the Chiefs, look at obviously the Buccaneers, and then this last year, even when it was the Bengals against the Rams punched in touchdowns. We talk about that touchdown at the end by Cooper Kupp. That's what winning teams do. That's what championship teams do, is they punch the football in when they need to. They don't kick field goals because a lot of times it's, you get down to those 2 or 3 minutes left in the game, and, those times you kicked field goals, it really comes back to bite you. So I think there needs to be a huge emphasis on this Raiders offense needing to punch it in. It doesn't matter, again, have a balance. I think that's exactly what Josh McDaniels and Dave Ziegler are going to bring to this organization, a balance of being able to run the football, because there were times that Josh Jacobs was able to just pound the rock last year, and other times he disappeared. Let's call a spade a spade. So I think if they can make sure that they are establishing a balanced offense and putting the ball in the end zone, I think this Raiders offense is going to be dangerous. I think it's already going to be dangerous with guys like Davante Adams, all the weapons they got, but the next step is getting it in the end zone on a consistent basis, putting up points on a consistent basis, and I think that's what it comes down to, is the fact that this offense for the Raiders needs to put up points. Now, again, I don't think it needs to be as much as last year when you think about, or in the years past, with this defense. Defense was the Achilles heel, but we saw spurts last year where this defense was great. We saw spurts where they could just take over a game when they needed to. I think a specific example was that Darius Philon play, what was it, on 3rd and 1, 4th and 1 against the Chargers last year to go to the playoffs. Like, we saw spurts. We saw it where this defense, it finally stood up and, it dug its heels into the ground, made a few key stops, and it was able to take over a game. If the defense can do that for a couple more plays a game this year, which I think they can, especially with the additions of guys like Chandler Jones, I think Kyler Fackrell is going to be a big name to watch this year, as well as Malcolm Kuntz. I think put this man on the field. I don't care what it takes. Also, Duron Harmon, another safety. I know Patrick Graham likes to play with 3 safeties, or at least likes to keep them in the rotation. The point of this matter is the defense is going to step up. They're going to make plays, and it's on the offense to be able to put points on the board to take the pressure off the defense. But let us know what you guys think. Make sure you guys like and subscribe down below. Leave a like and a comment. It helps people find the show. We greatly appreciate all the support that we've gotten and continue to get. You guys are all truthfully awesome. We love every single one of you. In the description down below, you'll find all of our social media platforms. Give us a like and a follow there. We would greatly appreciate it. Also, remember to give us a listen and sub on iTunes. And finally, if you have anything else you'd like us to cover, send us an email at thesportsbp@yahoo.com or put in the comment section down below, and we would love to cover it. But let's know what you guys think about the Las Vegas Raiders offense needing to put up points.